back and hang on and hope he can close well over this final 5 kilometers. This is where the
በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ የሚገኙ ታላላቅ መገናኛ ብዙሃን አሁን ስለዚች ልጅ መጻፍ ጀምረዋል። ይህች ልጅ ማናት? ከየት ተገኘች? እንዲህ ያለ ወርልድ ክላስ የሆነ አትሌት ደግሞ በጣም የሚገርም ብቃትን የተላበሰች እንቁ ከወዴት መጣች እያለ መጠየቅ ጀምሯል። በዓለም አቀፍ ደረጃ ትልቁ የአትሌቲክስ ጸሐፊ ነው አትሌቲክስ illustrated.com የተባለው ድህረ ገጽ። እናም ልቅና አምባው ማናት? እቺ ወርልድ ክላስ የሆነች አትሌት ከወዴት መጣች ሲል ይጠይቃል። ምክንያቱ ደግሞ በኮፐንሃገን የተደረገው የ2025ቱን የግማሽ ማራቶን ውድድር አሸናፊ ሆና ካጠናቀቀች በኋላ የተሰጠ ትንተና መሆኑ ነው። የ27 ዓመቷ አትሌት በኮፐንሃገን የተደረገውን የግማሽ ማራቶን ውድድር ከ65 ደቂቃ በታች በመግባት የቦታውን ክብረ ወሰን ጭምር በማሻሻል ማሸነፍ ችላለች። ከጥቂት ቀናቶች በፊት በስፔን የአገር አቋራጭ ውድድር አሸናፊ ሆና ስታጠናቅቅ የተመለከታችኋት ልቅና አምባው 2025 ላይ በድል ተብነሽንሻለች። 2024ም ቢሆን የርሷ ሆኗል። ዓለም አቀፍ መገናኛ ብዙሃን ደግሞ ስለ ልጅቷ ስም እያነሱ መዘመራቸውን ቀጥለዋል። የተወደዳችሁ የኢትዮ አትሌቲክስ ተከታታዮች ለዛሬ በኮፐንሃገን የግማሽ ማራቶን ውድድር የቦታውን ክብረ ወሰን ጭምር በማሻሻል ያሸነፈችውን ልቅና አምባውን ሰፋ አድርገን እንመለከታለን። የውድድሩን ሃይላይት እናሳያችኋለን። ላይክ በማድረግ ይህ ቪዲዮ ለብዙ ሰዎች እንዲዳረስ አግዙን። ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰባችን መሆኑን እንዳትዘነጉት። እለቱ እጅግ ከፍተኛ ዝናብ የተስተናገደበት ነበር። ደግሞ ቅዝቃዜም ብዙ አትሌቶችን ሲፈትናቸው ታይቷል። ነገር ግን ይቺ ኢትዮጵያዊት የ27 ዓመት ወጣት በኮፐንሃገን የነበረውን ብርድና ዝናብ ተቋቁማ ካጠገቧ የነበሩ ታላላቅ ክብርና ዝናን የተጎናጸፉ በትልልቅ ውድድሮች አሸናፊ ሆነው ማጠናቀቅ የቻሉ ኬንያውያንን አስከትላ ውድድሩን በአሸናፊነት አጠናቀቀች። ያውም ደግሞ የቦታውን ክብረ ወሰን በመስበር ጭምር 1 ሰዓት ከ04 ከ44 የገባችበት የግማሽ ማራቶኑ ሰዓት ነበረ። ይህንን ድል ካስመዘገበች በኋላ ዓለም አቀፍ መገናኛ ብዙሃን ስለዚች አትሌት መጠየቅ ጀመሩ። ብዙ ሐሳቦችን አነሱ። ከየት መጣች? ስሟ ማን ይባላል? ምን አይነት ስኬቶችን አስመዘገበች? እንዴት ነው በድንገት የዓለም አትሌቲክስን መቆጣጠር የቻለችው? እያሉ ጠየቁ። የዓለማችን ትልቁ የአትሌቲክስ ድረገጽ ነው athletics illustrated.com እናም ስለዚህ ልጅ ሲጽፍ እንዲህ ብሎ አሰፈረ። who is ልቅና አምባው? where did this world class athlete come from? ይህቺ የ27 ዓመት አትሌት 2024 ላይ ነበረ በድንገት የዓለም አትሌቲክስን በሚያስደነግጥ ሁኔታ ታላላቅ ውድድሮችን በማሸነፍ ራሷን ያስተዋወቀችው። ብዙዎች ከዚች አትሌት ጋር የተዋወቁት ኤፕሪል 2024 ላይ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር የጎዳና ውድድርን 29 ደቂቃ ከ56 በመግባት ስታጠናቅቅ ነበረ። ፌብሩዋሪ 2025 በነበረው ውድድር የግል ፈጣን ሰዓቷን በማሻሻል 29 ደቂቃ ከ40 በመግባት ሌላ ታላቅ ድል ማስመዝገብ ቻለች። ይቺ አትሌት ከዚህ ቀደም 31 ደቂቃ፣ 33 ደቂቃና 30 ደቂቃ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር ውድድሮችን ለማጠናቀቅ ይፈጅባት ነበር። ነገር ግን አሁን ከ29 ደቂቃ የበለጠ አይፈጅባትም። መስከረም ወር ላይ የግማሽ ማራቶን የኮፐንሃገን ውድድርን 1 ሰዓት ከ04 ከ44 በመግባት ማሸነፍ ቻለች። አትሌቷ ኤፕሪል በነበረው ውድድር 5000 ሜትርን 14 ደቂቃ ከ30 ሰከንድ ከ54 በመግባት የግል ፈጣን ሰዓቷን አስመዘገበች። ከዚህ 2 ወር ቀደም ብሎ ሞናኮ በነበረ የ5 ኪሎ ሜትር ውድድር ደግሞ 14 ደቂቃ ከ33 መግባት ቻለች። እናም ብዙዎች ተደነቁባት። በአንድ ዓመት የ5000 ሜትር ትራክንም የ5000 ሜትር የጎዳና ውድድርንም 14 ደቂቃ በላይ አልፈጀባትም። አትሌቷ 1500 ሜትርንም ትሮጣለች። 4 ደቂቃ ከ00 መግባት የቻለች አስደናቂ ሰው ናት። በኦሎምፒክና በዓለም ሻምፒዮና ሀገሯን ስትወክል አልታየችም። ነገር ግን የረጅም ርቀት ሯጭ ሆኖ 4 ደቂቃ ከ00 1500 ሜትርን መግባት የሚችል ሰዎች እጅግ ጥቂት ናቸው። የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ። ኢትዮጵያዊቷ ልቅና አምባው በ10000 ሜትር ትሮጣለች። 2023 ላይ የግል ፈጣን ሰዓቷን በ10000 ሜትር 32 ደቂቃ 33 ሰከንድ ከ59 ነበር የገባችው። ነገር ግን አሁን ከ9 ወራት በፊት 29 ደቂቃ ከ30 ሰከንድ የ10000 ሜትርን ፈጀባት። ይህ ደግሞ አልበቃትም። አሁን የ10000 ሜትርን ክብረ ወሰን ለመስበር እየታገለች ትገኛለች። በጎዳና ላይ ውድድር በታሪክ ከታዩ ፈጣን አትሌቶች መካከል በሴቶች 9ኛ ደረጃ ላይ ተቀምጣለች። 29 ደቂቃ ከ40 ሰከንድ የገባችበት ሰዓት ነው። የዓለም ክብረ ወሰን ቢያትሪስ ቼቤት 28 ደቂቃ ከ54 ሰከንድ የጎዳና ላይ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር ውድድር የተመዘገበ ሰዓት ነው። ልቅና አምባው የግል የግማሽ ማራቶን ፈጣን ሰዓቷንም በኮፐንሃገን ከ4 ደቂቃ በላይ ነበር ያሻሻለችው። ከዚህ ቀደም 1 ሰዓት ከ09 ከ01 ይፈጅባት ነበር። ነገር ግን በኮፐንሃገን 1 ሰዓት ከ04 ከ44 ነው ይፈጅባት። ፔሬስ ጀብቸርችር በሴቶች ብቻ የተሮጠ የግማሽ ማራቶን ክብረ ወሰን በእጇ ይገኛል። 1 ሰዓት ከ05 ከ16 ጊዲያን ፖላንድ ላይ 2020 የገባችበት ነበር። ነገር ግን በድብልቅ ወንዶችም ሴቶችም በነበሩበት ወንዶችን አሯሯጭ ተጠቅመው ሴቶች ጥሩ ሰዓት ባስመዘገቡበት ኢትዮጵያዊቷ ለተሰንበት ግደይ ክብረ ወሰኑን ይዛለች። ቫሌንሲያ ላይ 2021 1 ሰዓት ከ02 ከ52 የገባችበት ነው። ልቅና አምባው ከዚህ ሰዓት ብዙም አልራቀችም። እናም ወደፊት ምናልባት ይህንንም ልትሰብር ትችላለች። የ27 ዓመቷ ልቅና አምባው በቅርብ ዓመታት በረጅም ርቀት ዘርፍ አስደናቂ የሚባሉ ጠንካራ ውጤቶችን በተለያዩ ዓለም አቀፍ መድረኮች ላይ እያስመዘገበች ትገኛለች። ይህች ሯጭ 2025 ከገባ በኋላ ባደረገቻቸው 13 የትራክና የጎዳና ውድድሮች ውስጥ ሁለቱን ብቻ ከሜዳሊያ ሰንጠረዥ ውጪ ይህም ማለት ከአንደኛ እስከ 3ኛ ሆና ሳታጠናቅቅ የቀረች ሲሆን ሌሎቹን በሙሉ በሜዳሊያ ሰንጠረዥ ውስጥ ገብታ ጨርሳለች። 5ቱን አንደኛ ሆና በማጠናቀቅም አስገራሚ የሆነውን ዓመት በማሳለፍ ላይ ትገኛለች። ልቅና 2025 ዓመትን የጀመረችው ሞናኮ በተደረገ የ5 ኪሎ ሜትር የጎዳና ላይ ውድድር አሸናፊ ሆኖ በማጠናቀቅ ነበር። ከዚያ በኋላ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር የስፔን ካስቲዬኖ የጎዳና ላይ ውድድርን 29 ከ40 በመግባት ሁለተኛ ሆና ጨረሰች። ፈረንሳይ የተደረገ የሊል የ5 ኪሎ ሜትር የጎዳና ውድድርን ደግሞ 3ኛ ሆና ለመጨረስ ተገደደች። ከዚያ በኋላ በተከታታይ የትራክ ውድድሮችን አድርጋለች። የ3000 ሜትር ውድድርን በፖላንድ ሁለተኛ፣ ከዛ ባለፈ በቤልጂየም የዳይመንድ ሊግ ውድድር 5000 ሜትርን ሁለተኛ ሆና ስትጨርስ በዴንማርክ ኮፐንሃገን የነበረውን የግማሽ ማራቶን ውድድር ደግሞ 1 ሰዓት ከ04 ከ44 በመግባት አንደኛ ሆና ጨርሳለች። ሞሮኮ ካዛብላንካ የተደረገ የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር የጎዳና ላይ መድረክንም በአንደኛነት ማጠናቀቅ የቻለች አትሌት ናት። ብዙዎች የሚያስታውሷት በዳይመንድ ሊግ የመዝጊያ ዕለት በ3000 ሜትር ፍጻሜ በዙሪክ 3ኛ ሆና የጨረሰችበት ነበረ። 8 ደቂቃ ከ41 ከ06 የገባችበት ሰዓት ነበረ። ይህንን ውድድር አንደኛ ሆና አጠናቃ ቢሆን በቶኪዮ ዓለም አትሌቲክስ ሻምፒዮና ላይ በ5000 ሜትር ኢትዮጵያን ስትወክል እንመለከታት ነበረ።
የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ።
አትሌቷ ግማሽ ማራቶን ድረስ እስካሁን ሮጣለች። ወደ ማራቶን ልትዘዋወር ትችላለች። ኬንያዊቷ ሩት ቼፔንጌቲች ሺካጎ ላይ 2024 የገባችበት 2 ሰዓት ከ09 ከ56 የዓለም የማራቶን ክብረ ወሰን ተብሎ አሁን ድረስ ተመዝግቧል። ነገር ግን አትሌቷ በዶፒንግ ጥፋተኛ ሆና በመገኘቷ ከውድድር ታግዳ ተገኝታለች። ምናልባትም ይህ ሰዓቷ ከእርሷ ሊነጠቅ ይችላል። ትዕግስት አሰፋ የያዘችው 2 ሰዓት ከ11 ከ53 ላይ ምናልባት ልቅና አምባው መሮጥ የምትችል ከሆነ በማራቶን ልትገባበት ትችላለች። በግማሽ ማራቶን ኮፐንሃገን ላይ እርሷን ተከትላ ኬንያዊቷ ሻሮን ለኬዲ 1 ሰዓት ከ05 ከ00 ሁለተኛ ስትሆን ኢትዮጵያዊቷ ውዴ ከፈለ 3ኛ ሆና ጨርሳለች። ጠንካራዋ ኬንያዊት አትሌት ጆስሊን ጄፕኮስጋይ 1 ሰዓት ከ06 ከ22 በመግባት 4ኛ ሆና ለመጨረስ ተገዳለች። በውድድሩ እስከ 10 እና እስከ 15 ኪሎ ሜትር ድረስ ጆስሊን ጀብኮስጋይ ኬንያዊቷ አትሌት ስትመራ ነበር። ነገር ግን ልቅና አምባው ድንገት ከኋላ ተፈትልካ በመውጣት ውድድሩን በቁጥጥሯ ስር አዋለችው። ከ32000 በላይ ሯጮች የተካፈሉበት ውድድር ነበር። በኮፐንሃገን ሴቶች ከ65 ደቂቃ በታች ገብተው አያውቁም። ልቅና አምባው ግን አዲስ ታሪክ ሰራች። ታዲያ ልቅና አምባው ማናት ብሎ የመገናኛ ብዙሃን ሰዎች ጥያቄ ቢያነሱ ብዙም አይገርምም። እቺ አትሌት በትልልቅ ውድድሮች ላይ ኢትዮጵያን በመወከል ስትሳተፍ አላየናትም። ነገር ግን ከዚህ በኋላ ለኢትዮጵያ ተስፋ መሆን የምትችል ትልልቅ የሚባሉ ስኬቶችንም በስሟ ማስመዝገብ የምትችል እንደሆነ የቅርብ ዓመታት ውጤቶቿ እያሳዩ ይገኛሉ። ልቅና አምባው መኖሪያዋን በስፔን አድርጋለች። ለረጅም ዓመታት በዚያ ቆይታለች። ደግሞ ባለቤቷ ስፔናዊው አልቤርቶ ጋርሲያ ፔሬዝ ነው። ይህ ሰው የአትሌት ሪፕሬዘንታቲቭ ሆኖ ይሰራል። የወርልድ አትሌቲክስ በእርሱ ስር የተመዘገቡ በርካታ አትሌቶችን ይዘረዝራል። አንደኛዋ ልቅና አምባው ናት። ከብዙ ዓለም ሀገራት የተውጣጡ አትሌቶች በዚህ ሰው ይወከላሉ። የልቅና አምባው ባለቤት አለሚቱ ደራውን በስሩ ይዟል። አሸናፊ ታደሰ፣ ማህሌት ፍቅሬ፣ ትርንጎ ሙሉና ሌሎች በርካታ ኢትዮጵያውያን በዚህ ሰው ስር ይወከላሉ። አትሌቷን የኢትዮጵያ አትሌቲክስ ፌዴሬሽን ከእጁ እንዳትወጣና እንዳታመልጠው በርካታ የተማጽኖ ጥያቄዎች አሁን ለፌዴሬሽኑ መጻፍ ጀምረዋል። ምክንያቱም ልቅና አምባው ዜግነቷን ልትቀይርና ኢትዮጵያዊ ዜግነቷን ቀይራ ስፔናዊ ለመሆን ከጫፍ እንደደረሰች መረጃዎች እየወጡ ስለሆነ ነው። 2024 እና 2025 የውድድር ዓመታትን እቺ አትሌት ትልልቅ ስኬቶችን አስመዝግባለች። የ5000 ሜትር ውድድርን 14 ደቂቃ ከ30 ከ54 መግባት ትችላለች። የኦሎምፒክና የዓለም ሻምፒዮና ሜዳሊስቶችን በማሸነፍ ነበረ ጂያመን ዳይመንድ ሊግ ላይ የገባችው። በ3000 ሜትር ኦስሎ ዳይመንድ ሊግ በ2024 ትልቅ የሚባል ስኬት አስመዝግባለች። የዓመቱ ፈጣን የሆነውን ሰዓት 8 ደቂቃ ከ24 ከ29 መግባት የቻለች ናት። በዙሪክ የ2025 ዳይመንድ ሊግ ውድድር በ3000 ሜትር ሶስተኛ ሆና ጨርሳለች። 1 ሰዓት ከ04 ኮፐንሃገን የገባችበት ነው። የ10 ኪሎ ሜትር ሰዓቷ 29 ደቂቃ ከ40 ሰከንድ ነው። በ5 ኪሎ ሜትር 14 ደቂቃ ከ33 መሮጥ ትችላለች። እቺ አትሌት በትልልቅ ውድድሮች ኢትዮጵያን በመወከል ከፍተኛ የሚባሉ ስኬቶችን ማስመዝገብ ትችላለች ተብሎ ይታመናል። ነገር ግን ዜግነቷን ወደ ስፔን ልትቀይር ከጫፍ ደርሳለችና የኢትዮጵያ አትሌቲክስ ፌዴሬሽን በቶሎ ጣልቃ ገብቶ አትሌቷን እንዲይዛትና ለሀገሯ እንድትወዳደር እንዲያደርጋት በርካታ ተማጽኖች እየቀረቡ ይገኛሉ። የተወደዳችሁ የኢትዮ አትሌቲክስ ተከታታዮች ለዛሬ ልቅና አምባው በኮፐንሃገን የግማሽ ማራቶን ውድድር አንደኛ በመሆን ያጠናቀቀችበትን አስገራሚ ቪዲዮ በመከታተል እንድትዝናኑ ጋበዝናችሁ። ላይክ፣ ሼር፣ ኮሜንት በማድረግ ተሳተፉ። ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰባችን መሆኑን እንዳትዘነጉት። ሰላም።
And it really is a great couple of events with the half marathon in September, the marathon in May. But I think everything's going to be building, you know, with that talk of over 60,000 runners over the half marathon in that World Athletics Road Running Championships. But Matt, there are still entries, aren't there, available? I think for the mile and the 5K for that race in 12 months' time.
Yeah, there are indeed. Keep your eyes open for when those entries are released, because it's going to be a hot ticket. So these women threw in 30:20. At 10 kilometers, they are bang on 64 flat tempo. It's exactly what they wanted. I tell you what, Jacob Allen up at the front here doing a super job. So a little kick early, but they've settled things down. And Chepkoskai still with that gel in hand. You can see Amebaw in here. Lokedi is just looking supreme. Grew up in Kenya, went over to the US, studied at Kansas, won a few NCAA titles there. And then moved herself to Flagstaff, stepped up to the road. Stephen Haas and the team at the Dark Sky Distance Project doing a phenomenal job with Sharon Lokedi. There's not many with a marathon career like hers, and she's only really just getting going, only making her marathon debut just a couple of years ago. You've got a fourth at the Olympics, couple major titles, and now here in Copenhagen over the half marathon. What can she do? Can she get into that all-time list and be one of the leading Kenyans? So there's your tour. So Patrick Deva, Jack Rowe, they have company in your tour there, and yeah, the pacer is not pacing.
But you said interestingly that he might be given a free license to maybe finish the race, Jack Rowe. So he had a great post on Instagram, wasn't it, about almost like a last hit out, and he was obviously going to take Patrick, for the first few, or at least to halfway. But then, yeah, Coach Alison Craig, I think he said, you can hold on if you want to hold on. But that's hard to do, Matt, isn't it?
It is, especially when you go in with the mentality of your pacing. I think he referred to it as a bloodbath pace job and a hang-on last 5K. I think he was certainly hoping to get to 15K on tempo, and this is Devon now, who finds himself isolated a little bit on his own, and this has kind of been the story as in half marathons over the last year. You know, he ran Houston and New York, and both of those, he went off extremely fast. That's just how the races went, and also it was much like in conditions like this, to be honest, and also found himself isolated. So he is fantastic on his own, and as a marathon runner, as someone who is looking to step up to the marathon in New York in a few months' time, you've got to be able to run hard on your own, because there are times in a marathon where it is very, very lonely, no matter how fast you are.
Yeah, he's a very well-conditioned athlete, Patrick, and you know, those consistent half marathon performances and low 60 minutes in New York, that's not an easy course either. But I'm excited to see what he can do over the marathon distance, Matt.
James, let's see how this plays out. This is Casey Neville-Bard wearing the pace bib there in the white cap. Obviously, training partner, phenomenal 1,500-meter runner, low 3:30 man, and is alongside Sharon Lokedi here. And is it a little bit unfair to have your teammate pacing? Because as this race evolves, could he drag her along late in the race, make a few moves, make those hard moves that Lokedi would have to make on her own if he wasn't in the race?
Well, we've seen husbands being pacemakers previously as well. I think as long as it's agreed by the organisers, I think that, yeah, there's a number. They wouldn't even have to be actually as an agreed pacemaker. Actually, they could be part of the race themselves, which has happened also.
Absolutely.
But I think you're right. Depends whether, you know,
there's a dynamic there which is worth talking about.
Yeah, and I think it's probably maybe more so in women's only races where everyone's reliant on that one pacemaker. Whereas this, there's so many good club runners and national standard runners around them, all running this 64-minute pace. But Sharon Lokedi looks very good at the moment. As you said earlier, she's such a consistent performer and such a great racer.
Look at this. He is back, and is he up front? Is this the lead of the men's race? Nicholas.
If I had a hat on, Matt, my hat would be off. We love a comeback story. And the fact he's bounced off the concrete here in Copenhagen. Wow, projected time, sub 58 minutes. But I tell you what, the splits that Kip Korir would have done to get back there, I hope he's thinking right now, I'm going to write the headlines and I'm going to make my own story. He was someone that when I went through my notes, I thought, you know what, he might not be the big name, you know, that people are going to talk about, but he's such a good performer. And obviously when he hit the deck, you're thinking the quality of racers and runners in front, that there's no way back. And he looked really hurt, didn't he, Matt, for about a kilometre. But to fight his way back, and not just to fight his way back, he goes straight to the front. That is an interesting mentality. Not just straight to the front, he's going off the front, man.
Wow, clearly signs of the pacemaker dropping out as well. We are never short of drama here in Copenhagen, are we? I mean, last year's sprint finish between two of the greats, Kip Limo and Sarway, and now Kip Korir putting on an absolute display, falls down, works his way back up to the front, and now pushing on. Losoya and Langat are just going to enjoy tucking in behind him, Mohsin as well. All of these guys, Kenyan, I mentioned before, only 4 men, or 3 men, shall I say, have broken 58 minutes for a half marathon from Kenya, and we could have 4 do it here. They're on schedule for that, and as they hit the 13-kilometer mark, what is arguably the toughest section of the course, Julia.
Yeah, so this is, it is the only slightly uphill part of the course. You see there.
You see Kip Korir's comeback.
Yeah.
The comeback kid. Have you ever fallen over in a race, Julian? Have you hit the deck and bounced back up? Did it go well?
In the World Championship in Budapest in 2023, over the steeple, I fell and I actually broke my jaw. But I managed to finish the race, and I think the adrenaline after falling, it keeps you going, and I didn't even think about stopping, so yeah.
And it hasn't put you off the steeplechase. A new personal best inside 9 minutes and 30 seconds this year, just outside that World Athletics qualifying for Tokyo. Was it 5 spots? So you must have half an eye on next year's European Championships, which is in Birmingham in the UK.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm looking really much forward for that.
We'd love to see you on that team in the UK, and obviously, yes, in 12 months' time over the 5K. Have you looked much at the course for the 5K for the World Athletics Road Running Championships for next year? Are you already studying it? Are you already doing workouts on it yet?
I I am doing a lot of workouts since I'm training here in Copenhagen, so I haven't been studying it down to details yet, but maybe I should start doing
12 months. You've got plenty of time to do that.
Yeah.
And the world's very best runners over multiple distances. As a miler myself, Matt, I can't wait to see that road mile. I think that is going to be super exciting. And then could we have Jakob Ingebrigtsen back? He did speak 12 months ago about coming back for those World Athletics Road Running Championships, and I saw him out in St. Moritz where he's preparing for the World Champs. Didn't make it through the heats in the 1500. He's still got the 5000, but I said to him, are you looking to come back to Copenhagen? He gave a big, big smile, so I take that as a yes.
We'll welcome him next year in 2026. So here's Amebaw. I mentioned before, great track season over the 5000. Third in the Diamond League, that final one just a few weeks ago. And unfortunately, you know, she watched the Olympics last year on crutches, and so she's had a rough year of injuries, but now coming back and at her very best, to be honest with you. That's 69.01 lifetime best from 2022. Make no notice, make no attention.
I was going to say, that's a side note, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, it absolutely is. She's worth a lot more than that. And also the other Ethiopian in here is Kefale, who comes into this in great form, phenomenal cross-country runner, but debuting over the half marathon. And James, from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, and brings those coffee beans wherever she goes.
Oh, I love that. Kip Career, maybe he should have just chilled out a little bit in that group, because he did go straight to the front. And
he woke him up, though. I think he needed to do that, because they looked like what was once 3, then came into 4 or 5. Kipruto was able to get back on, and whenever they surge, whenever they up the tempo, Kipruto is the first to drop off. So I think, actually, Kip Career realized these guys were slowing. He got them back on that 58-minute tempo, and as I mentioned, they're all from Kenya. They know each other well, and oh no, he is just having a bad day at the office with his footing, isn't he? That's a real shame there. Well, that's why he's struggling, and once again he bounces back. I mean, Kipruto is in this race, has a book out, or coming out, called Don't Call It a Comeback, but this man is the king of comebacks if he goes on to win this. It's phenomenal, sitting in 4th place, and I think he is going to need a real check over once he finishes this race, because he could have done damage to his arm. That looked like it might have messed his hamstring, his glute area up a little bit. Just static there. But anyway, Langard off the front. Lesoy, Mosin, and Kip Career back and forth, and I wonder if he's going to start squeezing.
I'm going to start thinking how many more turns we've got, Julian, on the course, because obviously it seems those right or left-hand turns seem to be an issue. I don't think there's too many more to go.
Yeah, after this 15K mark, we almost only have these long, straight sections of the course. So now they can really start to push, and now the strategy comes a bit more in, and they are starting to feel the pain. But there are not many more turns yet. So maybe.
They can hit the open road, they can hit those straight roads and attack. And interestingly, Chepkoskai looks to have dropped off from this group now. We can't see her anymore. We have Kefale, we have Amebaw, and we have Sharon Lekedi in this group. And Josh Grace as well, another man worth mentioning, in the white strip there alongside these elite women. I can't see Chepkoskai. Doesn't seem to with them. They are still operating, we know, inside 64-minute tempo. They may have even lifted things a little bit. And this is what I mean. If Lekedi feels good, she may just give her pacer just a bit of a nudge and say, hey, let's just start turning the screw here. I can run something special. We know the fastest section of the course is coming up as they'll head back towards the famous lakes. That's where the atmosphere will really drive up as well. We've got the Norborough Run Club. They're bang on 302s. Kimetcho, as we see, that race record is 65.08, 305 per K. And again, last year, they were just outside that last year, weren't they? Both on the men's and the women's side, they just missed it. So wouldn't it be great to come and correct those times this year? These elite women looking fantastic, and you can hear that rain coming down. Look at the line here, though. Kipruto does love hugging the... well, he went wide there, Lesoy choosing to take that tight line, which is dangerous. I think Kipruto is learning his lesson. Swing wide, take the racing line, round those turns, and cut in on the exit as opposed to the entry point as well. So these elite women are going to be approaching that 15-kilometer mark any minute now as well. So we still got Lekedi, Kefale, and Amebaw, and they all look very, very relaxed, actually. Kefale on her debut. Amebaw, you may as well call it a debut. Her first half marathon a few years ago, one and done then, and 69 minutes, she's worth a lot more than that, operating in that 14:30 region, over 5,000 coming off of that track season. But Likina looks so relaxed. Well, here's Lesoy. First time, he's going to find himself a little isolated, perhaps just starting to get detached from these men. As I say that the questions are being asked, Langat looks relaxed as well, and Kimeli still just up at the front, just 26 years of age, still Kimeli. Lesoy the same, both of them in their mid-20s and in their prime over the half marathon distance. And interestingly, you know, in Kenya, it is a distance they take pride in. You know, I think a lot of nations will maybe prioritize the 5,000, the 10,000, and then go straight to the marathon. They almost bypass the half marathon. In Kenya, they do take a lot of pride, and there are a lot of men who are okay with being specialist half marathon runners, and these three are some of the very best to do it.
And Lesoy's record there on the screen, and he's so used to getting on the podium, and at the moment, it's a three-way battle between these athletes on the screen in front. Nicholas Kipruto, who took the fall, but he's back up on his feet. A world medalist on the road, fourth place in the Olympic Games, 5,000 meters. Langat, Vincent Langat next to him, 58 minutes and 41 seconds. In from Valencia previously, consistent performer. And then Lesoy, third last year. Just biding his time at the moment at the back of that leading group of three.
Well, here's elite women. They're through 15 kilometers now, James. They're still all together. I wonder when this race is going to break up. We've got three in the men's race now, three in the women's race as well. And we know that Chepkosgei has dropped off. We'll look out for her. She's still in it, though. She's there in fourth. She's not... Ooh, just about 30 seconds or so behind. She's got company with Chep Karui and Chepengeno as well, so she will have a few teammates to work with her. But these women have just slowed a little bit, James. They're on around about 64:30 tempo now. 45:56. That would see them just outside 64:30, but they're still on race record, and it allows them. That 5K is probably always going to be the slowest. We know, Julian, that is arguably... There's no slow road in Copenhagen, but if there is going to be a slow split, it is that 10 to 15K split. And now it's open roads, there's very few turns, and a slight downhill as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we can also mention now that the Danish men they just passed the 15 kilometers mark a few minutes ago, and Joel is still in front. He is running really even splits and doing a great job out there. Right behind him, we have Jens Emil Slot, who's also a former triathlete, and he's following up really well. For the women, we have still Alberte Kjær in front and Nana right behind, and we might also mention Caroline Millenar, who is the Danish national champion. So we have to watch out for her as well.
Well, less than 10 minutes of running in this elite men's race. It's still Nicholas Kipruto who is doing a job up at the front. He slipped and fallen. He slipped again. Last over 2 over 5,000. He's got that 12:46 lifetime best, and he's just saying it like, give me some room here, mate. I've had a tough go out here. I've struggled on these turns, you know that. Give me a little bit of room. And Langat just telling him to ease back a little bit as well. And Kenyans, they will use, in Ethiopia as well, they will use a lot of hand signals when they're out on runs. They're used to running in large groups over muddy terrain, rocky terrain as well, and very hilly. And this is interesting. Amebaw now hits the front, the track star. Phenomenal summer, bases herself in Spain, coached by her husband as well. I think much like that of Jocelyn Chepkosgei. She'll about the husband's pacing, but also husband's coaching a lot of these elite women. So Amebaw looks to be up at the front. I'll tell you what, Jacob Allen's done a phenomenal job getting these women through 16 kilometers and beyond, and he's still in the race.
He's still there, isn't it? Amebaw looks really good, as you said. Great season, and just showing, you know, how consistent. That 69.01, that is going to be revised by a lot of minutes. So 14:33, Matt, 5K in Monaco on the road, and obviously sub 30 minutes. Then now that does translate definitely to around about 65 minutes, but she's way inside that at the moment. And I think we're somewhere in the region of around about 30 to 45 seconds inside the race record.
Well, Lesoy's gone. You can see just 20 or so meters back now. It's Kipruto and it's Langat. They're going to take a left-hand turn, and they're virtually going to be in the home straight, aren't they, Julianne? They're going to be into that final kilometre or so. We're looking at 58.31, so we've slipped a little bit. In conditions, they were brutal out there between 10 and 15 kilometres. The rain really did start to come down. These men have done well to just stay at this rhythm, and Kipruto just taking that inside line in, operating at 2:46. And it's amazing, you know, over the half marathon and the marathon, you lose just a second or two over your kilometre split, and that can add up, can't it? That could be 20 seconds, 30 seconds over the course of the race. Langat now, for me, James, is just looking a little bit more sprightly, isn't he? He looks the fresher of the two, unsurprisingly, because Kipruto has done a lot of the hard running.
He has, you know, and it's an interesting part now, looking at the watch. They know they're just over a mile away from that finishing straight. And the noise, and they can just see the gap starting to open. But I tell you what, let's not write off the athlete that's been written off multiple times in this race, Nicholas Kipruto in the red. But it is strong running now. Vincent Lagat, who is pushing the pace at the moment, operating right around his own lifetime best time of 58.41. So as we said, the event race record will survive another year. But it's all about racing now, and Langat is turning on the afterburners, Matt, and it looks like he's got around about 10 metres or so.
He's a competitive man, is Langat. I've heard even at card games, whatever it is, board games, card games, he's very, very competitive, always wants to win, and he might just be running himself into the history books and picking up a win here in Copenhagen. It'd be the biggest win of his career, that's for sure. He was third at the Valencia 10K, fifth at the Valencia Half Marathon last year as well. That's when he ran that 58.41 you mentioned, James. Kipruto is hanging in there as well. There's Langat just looking to push on by. He keeps very, very detailed training logs, and that is a good habit of some of the Kenyans and the Ethiopians. 10 years of training logs that they can look back on and reflect. And I bet that is one of the reasons why he's able to push on up at the front here. He's keying into all that training he's done over the last few years. So Langat and Kipruto, your 1-2. Lesoy, we believe, still in third.
Yeah, you're right. That training stacked on year, and knowing what to do at the right time, you know, when to train hard as they go through 20 kilometres, 1.1 kilometres to go here in the 2025 Copenhagen Half Marathon. And the gap now, Langat back to Kipruto. It looks significant.
They're both on for huge lifetime bests. Kipruto 59.06, Langat slightly quicker than him by 20 seconds or so, but they're both, I think, they keep this rhythm going. Look at that, 55.26. They're going to break 58.30 here. They're going to be, you'd expect them to run a 2:55 or so. Last kilometre is a slight downhill. It's 6 metres or so from the top of the Philip Harkin Houston Alley here down to the finish line. So they're going to look at the crowd as well, Julian. This has got to be the best part. It's exactly what you want going into that final half a mile.
Yeah, exactly. Now the spectators can carry you all the way to the finish line.
And you can see some still setting off to their right as well.
Some are going through 2 kilometres on the right-hand side. The spectators, doesn't matter whether it's raining, they are out in full numbers as Kipruto has to tiptoe his way around that corner, Matt. He almost went again.
It's cost him. He'll watch the race back. And, you know, there's no doubt that fall has cost him. He put in so much work to get back onto the group, and then he persistently turned the screw and lifted things up at the front as well to make sure that he came away from this with a new lifetime best. And it has paid off for him. Langat just checking his shoulder. Is he starting to struggle? Kipruto breathed a sigh of relief and says, thank God there's no more turns now. It's straight for the last 400 or 500 metres, and he is closing.
Kipruto is closing. He knows he's got no more turns. He can see the finishing gantry around about, 400 metres maybe. This is going to be a battle now. We've got Vincent Langat. Langat looking over his shoulder, 57 minutes and 20 seconds on the race clock. The athlete that fell during the race now, up onto his toes. Nicholas Kipruto in the red, Langat in the blue on the left. It is a head-to-head, it's a battle. Kipruto now, can he go from falling on the ground during the race to take the 2025 Copenhagen Half Marathon The last 200 metres we'll find out. As they go past the football stadium on their right-hand side, it looks like the battle again. Vincent Langat finding one more gear.
I don't think Kipruto is done, James. I think he's going to come back.
One more gear.
We're never short of drama here in Copenhagen. Once again, it comes down to a sprint finish. We couldn't ask for more. What a race. Kipruto has been on the deck on a couple of occasions, and he's going to hold on. The Kenyan is going to kick past his compatriot here today. He goes to the arms. We've been used to seeing him on the track over 5,000. Welcome to the half marathon, Kipruto, and welcome to Copenhagen in some style. Lifetime best for the pair of them as well.
What a story. He fell on the ground, almost fell for a second and third time. And at one point, with about 800 metres to go, the gap was significant. Vincent Langat looked fantastic, but then the home straight, that kick.
የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ።
We can't see her anymore. We have Kefele, we have Amebaw, and we have Sharon Likina in this group. And Josh Grace as well, another man worth mentioning, in the white strip there alongside these elite women. I can't see Chepkoskai. Doesn't seem to be with them. They are still operating, we know, inside 64-minute tempo. They may have even lifted things a little bit. And this is what I mean. If Likina feels good, she may just give her pacer just a bit of a nudge and say, hey, let's just start turning the screw here. I can run something special. We know the fastest section of the course is coming up as they'll head back towards the famous lakes. That's where the atmosphere will really drive up as well. We've got the Norborough Run Club. They're bang on 302s. Kimetcho, as we see, that race record is 65.08, 305 per K. And again, last year, they were just outside that last year, weren't they? Both on the men's and the women's side, they just missed it. So wouldn't it be great to come and correct those times this year? These elite women looking fantastic, and you can hear that rain coming down. 15 kilometers then for these elite men, and there is four of them. Kipruto is gone. Lesoy, Langat, Mosin, and Kipruto. And now this time, I think Kipruto, after that second, didn't quite go down, did he? After that second bad turn and slip, he's decided he just needs to sit back and hang on and hope he can close well over this final 5 kilometers. This is where the race gets going, James. It is the 30K equivalent in a marathon. This final 5 kilometers, what can these men do? And you can see it is a Kenyan sweep, Kenyan domination here.
But the pace has dropped, Matt, outside 14 minutes for that last 5-kilometre split. Jeffrey Kimura's course record set in 2019. It was the world record at the time, 58 minutes and 1 second. He went through in 41 minutes and 5 seconds, but there was a big 5K split that day, 13:31 from 10K to 15K, and then he slowed a little bit to 13:55.
የዩቲዩብ ተከታታዮች ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ቤተሰብ መሆን እንዳትዘነጉ። ላይክ እና ሼር በማድረግ ለሌሎች እንዲዳረስም አድርጉ።
Record today. I think we've got, a real race on our hands between this, well, it was leading 5 on the screen in front, but one athlete has just gone out the back. That might be Kipruto, yes. Or Kipruto, sorry. Kipruto is 4 seconds adrift of this group, but they seem to be looking at each other now, Matt, and whether he can get back onto it. He was someone that we expected to be there because he's got such a big kick, Gilbert Kipruto, but he's the athlete that's struggling now.
Yeah, he is. Deva coming through in 7th there. He's going to be the first non-Kenyan in this race through 15 kilometers. Has a bit of a cushion, 15 seconds on Figel Curtin there, and Jack Rowe as well. And I think the Kenyans are starting to get a little cagey up at the front. They don't like the rain. If you're in Kenya and it's raining, there's no one out on the streets running. They don't run in the rain unless they really have to, unless they get caught in a storm. One of the reasons for that, though, is all the trails they run on, they're very, very soft clay. So if you do try and run in the rain, it gets very,